See, if I lose, I move on to the next. If you lose, you pontificating and debating about how it can't be done, and she's hypergamous, a woman's nature and this and that is not yours, it's just your turn. All that can't lock a chick in talk. What up, what up, what up? What's happening? Que lo que miente. Welcome to Love, Purpose, and Passports. Hope all is well and all are passport ready, or passport getting ready. For those of you that don't know, I am Mr. Pro for you, living in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Let's get right to it. There's this failure mindset when it comes to dealing with women that some of you have fallen victim to. You've been brainwashed, to use an old Twilight Zone word. This failure when it comes to women mindset has become the new safe space for a lot of guys, where they can gather up like zombies from The Walking Dead and attack. It's a touchy subject. The stateside complaint, it's legit and it's allowed. But now a lot of you have brought the same complaints overseas. That's a problem. Remember, you were talking about women stateside don't want to compete and a host of other things. Okay, but you don't realize how easy it is to get stuck when you've been complaining so long about, let's call it, unfavorable conditions. We got a little storm going on. You've been complaining so long about the unfavorable conditions that when your situation finally changes, when your environment finally changes, you're not in gear or not in the right gear and don't realize it. Some of you have spent years in the echo chamber with no sunlight. You've been a POW of the gender war. Now your passport has freed you and you're having problems adjusting to this new freedom. When a person has been locked up for a very long time and they find it hard to adjust because they've been stuck in their incarcerated ways for so long, you know what they call that? They say they've been institutionalized. A lot of you have been institutionalized. You can't mentally get out of the old prison of no options or bad options. Now you have options. You're overseas, passport stamped, but you're still in neutral thinking you're in drive. I'm going to show you. We went years hearing about women stateside don't want to compete. You hear now in the Dominican Republic, the women will compete. You think you don't have to compete, right? Some of you have taken that I'm the prize out of context, that you can just show up and let it happen. Nobody told you that. We tell you you can make it happen, not let it happen. How can you think you don't have to compete when I like the same chick you like? I want the same chick you want. How can you think like that? You a man. Everything is a competition if someone else wants what you want. If nobody wants it, then it's a competition with yourself to want better. I want the woman you want. I don't have to know about you. If she's fine, I know there's another dude around somewhere that wants her. It's you, and I'm him. You get what I mean? But you think it's supposed to be something different. See, if I lose, I move on to the next. If you lose, you pontificating and debating about how it can't be done, and she's hypergamous, a woman's nature and this and that is not yours, it's just your turn. All that can't lock a chick in talk. Yeah, those sayings are factual when used in the right context, but they've become the one-size-fits-all go-to talking points to make failure seem like a cool place to be. And it's not. You want to believe because you lost that particular situation that all is lost and all will lose. Not true. Whenever you couldn't lock her in, someone else could and did if she was worth anything. This internet got you too theoretical. You watch 2 years worth of manosphere and they have you believing you got it all figured out. You ain't been outside. You only been online. Then you come outside and get hit in real life a couple of times and you throw in the towel, starting a podcast about getting hit, how it hurts to get hit, and all they ever gonna do is hit you. Obviously, I'm talking about figuratively and not literally about bad experiences with women, unfavorable experiences with women. Every man gets hit a couple times at some point. So what? You've heard the saying, he can't take a hit. You're a man. You're supposed to be able to take a hit. That's life and a life's lesson. Take a hit and keep going, not pick up your toys and go home talking about I hate them. If you choose wrong and it collapses, it's not the end of the world. You just chose wrong. No need to blame the Dominicanas or the Colombianas or the Filipinas. You just chose wrong. That's the thing about here. On this island here, there's a million women. Choose better. Dust your chooser off, put your heart back in your chest where it belongs, put your wallet back in your pocket where it belongs, and get back at it. No need to run back to the manosphere weeping and renting your clothing in a bed of ashes. I was blessed to find mine. 11 years later, so far so good. But there was a time, just like I'm telling you, I had to choose. And had I chose wrong, I get what that gets. I mean, because you made a wrong turn, does that mean the destination doesn't exist? So what do? Get back on the road to your destination. If it's finding a good woman, get back at it. Yeah, you might feel a little something, but you should never feel bad about finding out she ain't right for you. Feel bad about never finding out she ain't right for you. You got to get in gear, compete for what you want. You're not competing with her, you're competing with me. You're either going to compete with me or complain about me indirectly by blaming her because I got her. They're always choosing the damn pookies. I hate them. Failure mindset. There are people that will say or insinuate I got lucky to meet my wife. Shout out to the brother who left the comments saying we're an exception to the rule. Look, I can grant you the argument that I was lucky, fortunate, blessed to be at the right place at the right time, the right year, the right era, however you want to word it. Let's say I got lucky getting her. But I didn't get lucky keeping her. And that's where the disconnect lies. You're not having trouble getting a woman here. You're having trouble keeping her. We told you it was going to be easier to get a woman here. We didn't tell you it was going to be easier to keep her. And I mean easier not because they're easy, but easier to find what you're looking for because there's more of what you're looking for. How easy do you want it to be? You need it to be easier? Unfortunately, it can't be. You know why? It's impossible for it to get any easier if someone else wants what you want. Remember that. Get in gear. Stop thinking she's just going to land in your lap and that's it. You got your passport stamped. You touch down. You're not the only guy here. Rise and shine to get what you want. I told y'all don't come here being soft. Matter of fact, don't show up anywhere being soft. Getting the woman you want is not a nice guy's game, even if she likes nice guys. That means other nice guys are going to want her too. You're going to have to slay nice guys. This overseas thing of ours is meant to be your opportunity to be a better man, to do it better than you've ever done it. And for some of you, to reinvent yourself, rise to the occasion. Finally having the option to snatch up the chick you want should motivate you to step it up. Not for the chick, but for the new lifestyle you want to create. And for many of you, bouncing out of the country is a new lifestyle. You step it up, and if she falls off, whose loss is it? You're already becoming a better man. But the failure mindset is hurting a lot of you. If a person tells you in one paragraph that you can do it and how to do it, you're responding in 2 or 3 paragraphs why you can't. You've been indoctrinated with that mindset. Why? Because failure got monetized online. And when that happened, you started being inundated with teachings on why you will fail with women. So that's all you know. Proving that Western women need to change, trying to convince them that they need to change, and telling them what's going to happen if they don't change. That's all you got. Millions of dollars have been made flooding you with that for the last 7 or 8 years or more. But now, for a lot of you, your growth has been stunted because you've been in the same grade for all those years and don't realize it. They kept you in that same place to keep making that money, never graduating to the next level. Keep telling you about a woman's nature, never addressing a man's nature. No matter what they say, it's in a man's nature to have a woman or women, for you sophisticated gentlemen, that's his and his only. That's yours and yours only. They never got you ready for that. One of the reasons why is because positive relationship talk isn't monetized like that. So instead, they've convinced you that it's better to share hoes. That may work for some of you, but it won't work for many of you. You're not cut out for that. We're not all the same kind of men, and that's fine. But this is why guys seeking something different out here in the relationship space are out of shape when it comes to more than just sticking and moving. I guarantee you that most of you that have had bad experiences with women here, relationship-wise, you still smashed. The majority of what you've been flooded with online in the mass space has been geared toward only getting you that far. To smash. They start off with damage control from a bad experience with women, then how to smash. So now, all of you make it that far, but they never take you to the next level. They divert you to sharing hoes as the final class. So when you find yourself in a relationship situation that keeps failing at that same point, it makes it seem like the monetization of failure guys were right. But no, they never taught you or showed you anything beyond that point, except sharing women.
See, your relationship didn't work. Head out to the red light zone.
Failure is easy and familiar because that's all you've been taught. And so that's all you've learned. And now, that's all a lot of you believe. We told you it would be easier to get her. We didn't tell you it would be easier to keep her. Keeping her is a relationship. And we told you relationships take work because they have to be built. We told you they're not easy, but we also told you they're worth it if you're a relationship guy. I just shared with you that you have to compete. If you weren't ready for that, get ready for that. And I know some of y'all don't want to hear it. Accept that as fact so you can get your confidence wrapped around it. Continue to get yourself together and start looking forward to it. We're men. Start looking at everything as competition for now so you can get up to speed. Accept competing with your woman. If that's a competition, get rid of her. I don't know why that did that. A lot of you have been out here with the wrong idea that you don't have to put your best foot forward just because your options have expanded. And just because your options have expanded doesn't mean you're going to win every time with every chick you want. It just means there's another one right over there. Stop telling people a good relationship can't be had overseas or long distance because you met a terrible woman or two. And most of all, stop telling yourself that. You convict women in the homeland who keep getting with terrible men. But on the flip side, you've convinced yourself if you keep getting with terrible women here, it's not your fault. Now, it's all the women here's fault. That sounds an awful lot like what chicks say. Remember? Ain't no good men out here. Nah, we not doing that. I told y'all, don't come here being soft. If you know what you want, do what you got to do to make it happen. Leave the blame and the excuses at home. But don't designate your losses proof that everyone else is going to lose. That's a cope. That's a failure mindset. The point of this was to shed some light on the failure mindset. And secondly, that you do have to compete for the women here. When things don't go well, it's not hurting you physically. It's disappointing you. It's discouraging you. You just have to adjust a few things. And even though it's just a few things, that doesn't mean it's easy. We discussed the mindset you have to adjust, an outlook you have to adjust, and some ways of thinking you have to discard or grow out of. If you've been learning the same things for years, consider this. The message and the rhetoric has stayed the same. You're years older. You're not supposed to think the same way or see things the same way you did 6 or 7 years ago. If you've grown, and you have grown. Don't let these failure experts tell you what you can't do when it comes to the relationship you want. You're your own man. You have your own household, your own path, and your own life together. Not with these guys. This is one of the only spaces that the guys who failed at relationships have more influence than the guys who haven't. Have you noticed that? And the guys who are failing at relationships would rather get advice from guys who have failed at relationships. We're in some strange times, fellas, but we got this. Love, purpose, and passports. Peace.